Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Nasidyanka. This is episode 2 out of my 4 episodes where I present to you the most recent history of Bulgaria, which includes the past several centuries because Bulgaria has existed for so many millennia in the past. But in this section, I wanted to focus on a few facts that regard the last few centuries. So, in the previous episode, I talked to you about the introduction of Christianity formally in Bulgaria. And so now I will continue. So, in the second half of the 10th century AD, due to war related political reasons, the residency of the Bulgarian Patriarchate needed to be relocated several times. And so it was moved from the city and capital at that time of Preslav to Drăstăr, Triadița, today's Sofia, Voden, Maglen, Prespa, and finally to Ohrid, which in previous episode I mentioned. This is the territory of Bulgaria, and currently today it's located in the falsely called Macedonia, and I will talk about this in future. So between the year of 1018 and 1186 AD, Bulgaria was under the rule of the Byzantine Empire, so Bulgaria was enslaved. Nonetheless, the Bulgarian church kept her autocephaly as an archdiocese rather than as a patriarchate at that time. It lasted as such until 1767 AD, when the Constantinople Patriarchy demolished it. In 1185 through 1186 AD, the Bulgarian brothers Peter and Asen rebelled against this corruption and slavery. The result was the beginning of the Second Bulgarian Kingdom. Its capital became Turnovo. They pushed for the restoration of the Bulgarian Orthodox Christian Patriarchate. Initially, an independent archdiocese was established with its center in the city of Turnovo. Later, in the year of 1235 AD, as the Orthodox Church Council in the city of Lampsac, which was located in Asia Minor, the patriarchal dignity of the Bulgarian Church was indeed restored. So this was during the Second Bulgarian Kingdom. The Bulgarian Orthodox Church fulfilled its mission with dignity. It continued the spiritual work of the Ohrid and Preslav Enlightenment schools, which I mentioned in episode 1 of this series, and it now manifested in the Turnovo Book School, or Enlightenment School. Its main representatives were the so-called Venerable Theodosius of Turnovo, his year is 1362 AD, and his disciple Euthymius, Patriarch of Turnovo, his recorded year is 1404 AD. During this period of time, significant successes were also achieved in the field of architecture and painting. Turnovo, however, fell under the brutal Ottoman Empire's rule in the year of 1393 AD after a bloodthirsty war. Actually, as a matter of fact, like I'll make a note here, an interesting fact is that at that time, Bulgaria had a contract of friendship with the Ottoman Muslim Empire. However, the Ottomans disrespected this formal contract and they invaded the Bulgarian capital during a time which had been calculated politically by the Ottomans in advance because this was a time when Bulgaria was weakened and divided, so that made her vulnerable. By the way, Bulgaria has been betrayed too often by formal friends, such as the Serbians or the Greeks, in this case, the Ottoman Empire. This has happened so many times by the powers that I will be mentioning one after another in future videos. I think that this needs to be remembered, you guys. This is part of history, and yes, even though we can forgive, we don't forget. To forgive doesn't mean to forget. To forgive doesn't mean to sweep under the rug and pretend this is not being honest. So those of you who know me, I am a very strong advocate for truth, facts, honesty, Lies are just something very disgusting in my eyes. So after Turnovo fell, the Bulgarian Patriarch Euthymos was sent into exile. The Bulgarian Church lost her autocephaly and became a diocese of the Patriarchate of Constantinople. I will explain more in detail the uncanonical lie that this actually represented, and I will include this in my 4th out of 4 episodes for this series of videos, so stay tuned. Meantime, the other Bulgarian ecclesiastical and educational center, which we already mentioned earlier, Ohrid, in nowadays so-called Macedonia, continued to exist until the year of 1767 AD, as it remained through all that tragic time a firm support of faith, piety, and national consciousness. So during the 5 centuries of Ottoman Empire's rule or enslavement in Bulgaria, this actually lasted from the year of 1393 through 1878 AD. The Bulgarian Church did not exist as an official institution. Nevertheless, through the churches that survived the destruction and mainly through the numerous monasteries that dotted the entire Bulgarian land, the Orthodox faith continued to exert its beneficial influence on 2 levels of self-consciousness, on a Christian level as well as on a national level. Such was the loyalty and consciousness that of the imprisoned Bulgarian people that actually inspired them and gave them meaning of life. Monasteries were the unquenchable spiritual beacons, so to speak, that strengthened the religious and patriotic feelings. Here stood out especially brightly the Bulgarian monasteries such as the Zograf Monastery, that's currently located on Mount Athos, as well as the Hilandar Monastery, again on Mount Athos, the Rila Monastery, currently located in Bulgaria near Sofia, Trojansky Monastery, Drianovsky Monastery, Cherepishki, Glozhinsky, Dragalevsky, and many other monasteries on our Bulgarian lands. I will not omit telling you stories of these monasteries in separate videos, so because they each deserve proper time and attention. And just to add, these 5 centuries of Ottoman Empire's enslavement deserve a separate video in further detail. So as you guys can see, I'm just presenting you the super short facts here in a nutshell. So with this, I'm going to conclude episode 2 out of 4 on Bulgarian history in the last few centuries. With this, you get to learn a little more about what the Bulgarian Orthodox Church's role has been and how the Bulgarians have preserved their spirit of truth in spite of adversity. Thank you very much for joining me at Nasedyanka, and feel welcome to join again in the follow-up episode. Bye-bye.